Home with Joel and Fletch, all thanks to Hyundai. The Hyundai Kona N-Line, imagine to be bold. The greatest stay on the planet is one sleep away, Brian. And I go back to 2003, the sliding doors of punting. Okay, so we're at Randwick Racecourse. Myself and half the London Broncos team have come out. I've been waxing lyrically about how good the Melbourne Cup is. And I've done all my work. I always do way too much work. I'm very unproductive for everything else in my life at the time. And I land on the horse. I'm going to back this horse called Makybe Diva. So I go to Warren Woodcock, who's at the stand there at Randwick, and I've told all the London Broncos, this is the horse we need to be on. And I was tossing up between that and another runner. I go to the stand, and it's paying $9.50 for one of my biggest bets I've ever done. I'm so confident.
How much you put on?
And just as I do that...
How much?
I can't tell. And just as I do that, so I put the bet on, and as I walk away, in the corner of my eye, it goes from $9.50 to $10 on the drift. And the other one that I liked goes from $10 into $9.50. So I go back to Warren. I said, mate, do you mind if I change my bet?
Oh.
He said, no problem. So I changed to this horse called Pentastic, right? There's 200 metres to go. I've got it each way. Pentastic's going to run a drum. And then all the boys, I never get to see the end of the race. All the boys climb above me because Makybe Diva's won the Melbourne Cup, right? And I look up. I know I'm going to get third. And then this horse, Jardine's Lookout, jumps from the clouds, blouses me, and to this day I've never told the boys I wasn't on Makybe Diva. But the worst part about that, Brian, I could never then go on Makybe Diva ever again, where I would have stayed with it the whole time. And the guy who was literally on Makybe Diva that particular day and onwards to 2004 and 2005, the great champion jockey, Glen Boss, who joins the run home with Joel and Fletch. G'day, Bossy.
Oh, my God, lads. Talk about sliding doors moment. I rode Pentastic the year before when he ran fifth behind Media Puzzle. So there you go.
I know. I was so sad, but I had to pretend to be happy for everyone that afternoon. Take us back to 2003, and you didn't always have the ride. I think guys like Stephen Arnold and so forth were riding the horse. How did you get that first ride on Makybe Diva prior to the Cup, Glen Boss?
Yeah, I mean, she'd been ridden by Luke Curry previously, who won the Queen Elizabeth one of the year before, in the year before. So, yeah, I mean, I did a lot of riding for David Hall. I'd won a derby for him and did a lot of riding for him. She only had 61 kilos in that Cup that year, so you know there weren't a lot of guys at that level that could ride those weights. So, you know. Yeah, so I had an association with Tony Santic, and then all of a sudden, that's where the partnership started.
Tony Santic, who you mentioned, he's a tuna farmer from South Australia, and the name Makybe Diva, which I thought's brilliant, he took the two letters of the five ladies who work for him, the first two letters of Maureen, Kylie, Belinda, Diane, and Vanessa, and that's how Makybe Diva, the name came.
Did they have a share in the horse as well?
Oh, I don't know. Did they, Bossy?
No, they didn't. They just they just shared their name.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
It was, yeah, but it's they're part of the history and part of the story as well. It's incredible.
Hey, Bossy, how you going? So you're out of in retirement now. Some rugby league players, when they retire, they sort of miss the big games or the Origin games and that final series. What about for you, mate? A day like tomorrow, is it something that you wish you could get out there and ride?
Oh, you wish you could do it forever, but unfortunately, Father Time catches up with you and you can't do it. But no, I mean, I've got the second best seat in the house tomorrow. I'll be able to go in and out with see the boys and see how they're going, but I'll be commentating on 10 on 10 and hopefully relaying all the action and telling the stories and definitely. I mean, it's only not that long ago since I retired, and I'm still fit as a fiddle and could probably ride. But yeah, there's a part of me definitely, guys, that I wish I was out there still competing, but it's just not possible now.
I'll tell you one other quick story. First day at the West Tigers, Brian. This is 1999 now. Might have been 98 actually, ahead of the 99 season. And I've told all the boys we're on this horse, Champagne, and it's going to win the Melbourne Cup, and it takes the lead, and it's going to win it. It overtakes Chrissy Munson Jezebel. And then Jezebel comes. Remember that one, Bossy?
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh.
That one hurt. Yeah, she actually, unfortunately, she started short and stride with me with about sort of 50 or 60 to go, and Jezebel just kept coming one pace. And unfortunately, she went wrong with me, Champagne, and had to be retired after that race. But oh my God, that one hurt, boys. I tell you, that took me months to get over that one.
Let's get back to Makybe Diva. Happier times. What was your two questions in one? What was your best ride of the 3 Cup wins, and which one were you most confident about?
Number 3, simple.
Yep.
Yeah, the third one. Like I had to go out there and kind of be pretty well inch perfect with her that day because I mean she was flying. She came off the back of winning the Cox Plate and smashing them, and she was airborne at the time. But I just with 58.5, I had to be pretty precise what I had to do with her. And I kind of break the race into thirds. Like my first job was to get to the winning post first time in a good spot. And I found myself on the fence by the time I got there. That was pretty cool. Then the next part of the race, you'd feel the race and feel the tempo and just really have your horse relaxed as possible and yourself. You have your heart rate as low as possible and just cruise along. And then the race starts again at the 1,000-metre mark. And then my job is then not to disappoint the animal. Just make sure the athlete underneath me I give her every opportunity to do what she does really well. And, God, she never let me down that day. She was with me every step of the way and was just waiting for me to just ask the question. When I did, it was just precise and, God, she was good that day. It was her softest win of her whole career, to be honest, very honest. But just, you just look back and that time there and just think, wow, it all just went perfect for me that day. But you needed a partner in crime to be just as perfect, and that's what the Mia was. She was just a supreme athlete, and she knew her job as much as I knew my job, and it was just, when you marry those two things up together, that's what you get, is an amazing victory.
2 supreme athletes at their absolute top of their game combined for this, where the whole country gets to witness exactly this.
Back behind those horses now as they come down the straight was Vinnie Rowe, and back behind them here's Makybe Diva. A nation roars for a hero. She's starting to wind up. 300 left to go now. Makybe Diva's racing up. Envoy's trying to go with her. They've got to Portland Singer and Lachlan River. Here comes Like a Pelkett and Excellent, but Makybe Diva clear with 100 metres to go. Excellent runs to second. Olazern runs on, but a champion becomes a legend. Makybe Diva has won it from either Olazern, Excellent.
Champion horse, champion jockey, champion trainers involved in Makybe Diva, but of course a champion call by one of my favourites, Greg Miles, who made that moment for you, Glen Boss, down the track so special, didn't he?
Oh, Gregory Miles, what can I say? Take my hat off to the man. I've spoken to Greg and he just thinks it's one of his finest moments, and that's what I'm saying. When you look back at it, she's got so many great things happened at that moment. She was great, and I was seeing it so well at the time. I had so much confidence in what she could do and what I could do. And, Lee had her absolutely primed. Amazing training performance from Lee and all of his staff. And then you cap it off and you have that incredible call from Greg. Just makes your hair stand up in the back of your neck, the way that all the things just lined up. It was just pure, perfect. That's all I don't know how sometimes to describe it, but it was just pure.
Hey, Bossy, I've got to interrupt here because Sugar will speak to you all afternoon, and I want to get your thoughts on tomorrow. I want to ask you this.
Let's talk about roles and stuff.
I want to ask
you. Read the top text to Bossy.
So, okay, one of the listeners has called in and said, "Is Joel's clothes on or what? Toey on the cup. His nipples must be hard." So I've got to interrupt. Glenn, what's your thoughts on tomorrow? Actually, before we get into that, I want to ask you about Mark Zahra jumping off Gold Trip. What did you make of that?
No, it was the right decision, I believe. I mean, I had a bit to do with that. I think we've got it right. Tomorrow might prove different, but he was unbelievable in that Caulfield Cup. Second up, running through the line, gets to 56.5. Only got 1 kilo for winning. He loves a firm deck, so he's probably going to get that tomorrow. Gold Trip. He's gone up in weight, obviously, but this race is length better than last year's. They all claim that he's better than last year, but he has to be a lot better than last year to win this year. So I'm pretty sure that Mark's going the right way. But they've all got to try and beat this horse from Europe. Willie Mullins' horse, Rodan, and I just spent the last sort of 3 quarters now going through the race with Zach on Absurd. Mate, boys, the money that's come for this horse is absurd. He's unbelievable. It's 25s into like 10s. So, wow. A lot of smart people must think he can win. And talking to Zach and went through the race, and we had a good game plan. And I think if he can execute it, he probably might be getting victory.
That's so he won the Ebor, Brian, and if you transport that time to 3,200 and the weight absurd carried that day, and it was challenged down the straight, it's right in this with about 53 kilos, isn't it, Bossy?
Yeah, 53. He ran, got beaten 7 lengths behind the van, but was given no hope in that race. He was out the back pulling, and was pretty bloody good actually, and then given a really good ride in the Ebor by Frankie, he comes out and smashes him. I mean, not smashed him, but just was a proper race. With 60 kilos and then drops to 53. He's a really good stay, this bloke. And Willie Mullins is an absolute genius, I promise you. Absolute genius.
Final question, Bossy. We'll let you go because we know you're so busy and we are pumped to have you here on the run home with Joel and Fletch. Best of the roughies, if you had to throw something in your trifectas.
Oh, he's probably not as roughy, but Solcombe, if he jumps, you're going to have your heart in your mouth. If he jumps, he can win. He's got the class. He's got the right bloke on him.
Yep, something's reversing there.
That's a smoke alarm. Get off the darts, Bossy.
Hey, Glen Boss, thanks for being a part of the run home with Joel and Fletch. We are so blessed to have you and very appreciative of that.
No, any time for you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great Tuesday.
Can't wait for that. You can catch Channel 10's coverage live from 10 a.m. Daylight savings time tomorrow. Glen Boss will be joined by Michelle Payne on the coverage after the break. I need to cool down a bit here, boys. I'm a bit too fired up. I'm a little bit cantankerous behind the barriers here, Brian.
Well, while you're on this, when can we get to Sugar Falls?
Sugar Falls are coming up at what time, Captain?
Man, he's on a roll. Can we do
last
it
hour? No, let's keep teasing.
Hang on here.
Yeah.
Can he do half now?
Or maybe one of the file.
Can you do one of the Trevor Files?
Do you want to
okay, now
slide them in?
I can tell you, Brian.
No. After the break.
Okay,
tease.
After the break, I'll reveal one of the Sugar File horses, which you are very, very keen on. It's the run home with Joel and Fletch, and we're running into Tuesday. Let me tell you, listener, one more sleep for the rest of the world of the Melbourne Cup. None for me. I can't sleep Melbourne Cup Eve, please. 1300 01 1170, the run home with Joel and Fletch.